Hello everybody, this is Bill Elsey with Wines.com, and today we are going to taste and discuss the wines of Washington State. Now, Washington State is one of the up-and-coming wine regions in the world, really. Everybody knows about Northern California, and the Willamette Valley in Oregon has a pretty long tradition of Pinot Noir production, but whenever it comes to Washington, there's a diversity of styles and grapes that are produced and some really excellent high-quality wines that are being produced. Whenever you think about Washington State, a lot of people think of the Pacific Northwest of being like Seattle, kind of rainy, overcast a lot. That is part of the state itself, but there's also, as soon as you get east of the Cascades, there's a big area of the state that is prime for excellent grape growing. The Columbia Valley is kind of the big catch-all appellation for the region, and then there's a lot of sub-AVAs or sub-appellations within the Columbia Valley. Traditionally, the grapes that are grown there are a lot of the Bordeaux varieties, so you do see Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. Syrah is really making a name for itself in Washington State as well. And then there's some white wines of Chardonnay, Riesling, and Sauvignon Blanc are kind of at the forefront of the quality wines that are coming out of the state. So today we are going to taste some of the wines that are offered from the Mercer Estates. Mercer Estates is a winery that has been producing wines for about the past 7 years. They've been from a long grape growing tradition in the state of Washington. And we're going to start off with their 2010 Sauvignon Blanc. Now, the Sauvignon Blanc here comes from the Columbia Valley, so it's one of the larger appellations, or the largest appellation in the state. Typically with Sauvignon Blanc, I'm looking for some of the citrus notes, nice acidity, and a little underlying hint of minerality. So let's see what we have here with the Sauvignon Blanc. Really nice nose. So what I typically look for with Sauvignon Blanc on the nose is a lot of a citrus floral character, kind of like a citrus zest, a lemon zest, a lime zest, a little bit of grapefruit character, depending if it's coming from the New Zealand area or from the Loire Valley, kind of the two traditional areas for high quality Sauvignon Blanc. You also get some of that kind of greenness, either a fresh cut grass or an herbaceousness, grapefruit pith, and that's what I'm getting on this. A lot of the nice floral but also citrus driven character on the nose, a strong presence of that grapefruit. Okay, let's see what we get on the palate. So, in my opinion, when it comes to Sauvignon Blanc, it needs to have fresh acidity to it. It's a high acid grape. I like white wines that are very crisp and clean and that have fresh acid. And sometimes in warmer areas, they become a little bit more rounded. Not that the Columbia Valley is considered a warm area. This wine has great acidity to it. It's very citrus driven. It's bright and refreshing on the side of the palate, really, where you pick up a lot of the acid on the palate. It's there. It's making my mouth water a little bit. It's very palate cleansing with that acid. A little bit of that underlying herbal and kind of grassy character, but to me it's more of like a honeysuckle flower, lemon, lime zest, grapefruit pith, a little peach, a little apricot character, but still nice acid to it. Slight underlying minerality as well. No oak character to this at all, so it's going to pair well with a lot of your different lighter fish dishes. This is something in the summertime just to have a glass of on its own. So a really nice offering here from the Mercer Estates with the 2010 Sauvignon Blanc. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to my reviews on the wines of the Mercer Estate here, but don't let that be the end of the discussion. I want to know what you think about the wines of Washington, about Washington Riesling, about Washington Cabernet. What do you think about these wines as well? Hit me up on Twitter at Bill Elsey, or you can keep the discussion going with us on our Facebook page, Wines.com, or on Twitter at Wines.com.